Welcome back, guys. It's Inspiring the Power You. Thanks for joining me. And today we are going to discuss why it is hard for empaths to set boundaries and why the year of the fire horse is different than other years on this topic. Let me just give you a little thing. So basically, imagine this. Imagine somebody who can speak six languages and another person can only speak their native language and find it difficult to learn another language. Now there can be a lot of reasons why that is the case, but the main reason is that that person that can speak the six languages has a more developed part of the brain when they're born than the other person. Now, it's not that the other person can't develop it, but naturally, in that other person, that is open. And this is what is in the same sort of scenario is with an empath. So when you are born, you had something in your brain that is more open than another person. Again, it's not that the other person can't develop some of these traits that empaths have, but naturally, an empath has this part of the brain open. And of course, they don't realize that and they don't know it. So basically, empaths are wired to connection and unity and not to separation. So we're born that way. We just want connection and we want unity, and it's in us and we feel it, and that's just who we are naturally, okay? If we look at it on an energetic level, your nervous system, okay, is tuned into that connection, tuned into the harmony, and tuned into attunement, to be attuned with feelings. So if somebody's uncomfortable, you feel it. And if somebody is hurting, you feel it. And that is why you find it hard to say no. So no is a boundary, but you find it hard to do it. So because even that, it's saying the word no in your own system, it doesn't feel like it's a natural choice for you. It sets you off. You don't feel good about it. So it actually feels like a danger nearly to you, or like you don't feel protected with it, okay? So in your early life as an empath, which you didn't even know you were an empath, yeah, and if anyone, even years and years and years ago, they probably didn't even call it being an empath. But in your early life, your safety, okay, came from being emotionally aware. Okay, so think about that. Your safety, or how you felt safe, was because you were emotionally aware. Okay, so you learned at a very young age to react to people's moods. Okay, you could anticipate their reactions to certain situations. And you basically became the fixer or the helper to the people around you. And it worked. And it kept you connected and it kept you feeling loved. But now, as an adult, the same pattern doesn't work. Okay. And setting boundaries now, because you haven't done it, now that you want to or you have to, and you're in this whole different world and you're with all these grown-ups, you find it extremely hard to set boundaries, because it's not that it just feels uncomfortable to you. It feels like you're abandoned. You're abandoning yourself, okay? And when we talk about this in an energy way, for an empath, energy flows into them very quickly, but it doesn't leave the same way. So it lingers, it takes time, it's there, it's in you, and you're absorbing it, okay? And this is why then so the energy, as like I said, so the energy is there. It doesn't just Other people, it just comes and goes and come little waves going like that. And it comes and goes, but you totally absorb it, okay? And because it lingers, this is when you start to think. So I don't like just say it's an argument with your partner. And obviously they've started it and they're out of order, but the energy is flown into you. And because it lingers in you, you then start to process it in a different way. So maybe you think they didn't mean it. Or you know about their childhood and you think, oh, it's just they're acting out because they're so wounded. And the thing is, the truth of being anybody, but being an empath, is endurance of things that are painful and hurt you is not at all bringing you into enlightenment. Okay. I don't know. I would guessing a lot of people, especially if you have followed the channel, you will have a spiritual aspect to you. Not that you have to watch the channel, but I would think you do. And being spiritual is definitely not a way to be emotionally available to everybody. Like it literally isn't, because that's not the case. People think, oh, if I'm spiritual, I should be there for everybody and all that. And that's not the case at all. So if you are an empath, a spiritual empath, or you're a spiritual person, then you must become aware that that does not mean that you're there endlessly available for somebody else's needs. Okay. So in this year, the year of the fire horse, why is this important that we realize why we find it hard? Because I'm going to be putting up more videos to help you with this setting boundaries, but the first step is to recognize why. And it's like I said, you have been born this way. You have born with this openness, this connection, this way to feel. It's there. You've just didn't know it, and now as an adult, you know you have to do something about it, because it's probably most likely affecting your life or has affected your life in very, very negative ways. So we need to get a grip on it. And the reason this year, the energy that's in this year of the fire horse, is because it's all about truth. It's all about movement, and it's all about independence. Okay. So like I said in the last video, self-abandonment and self-betrayal is a complete no for you this year. So, and if you don't understand yourself, if you don't understand why you find it hard to set boundaries, you're going to find it even harder to set them, right? So the first point is understanding why. And the thing is, then we need to learn how to set them, because this year, if you don't, the lessons will come to make you. And we don't want that happening. So I don't mean that in a scary way. But if you are still in this, whatever you did in the past, if you're in this year now and you're still self-abandoning yourself or self-betraying, the lesson you're going to need to wake you up is going to arrive. And that's why we need to work on this. Really, really, this is your thing to be working on this year. A boundary, right, guys, is not a wall. We're not building brick walls to keep people out. That's not what it's about. A boundary is like a conscious decision, okay, to attract what energy is allowed to flow into your life. Okay, so that is the purpose of it. We're going to learn about boundaries and how to put them into our life, not building brick walls, just building like a pathway for energy to arrive that is meant for us. And energy that's not is to be pushed away. We can say no. Okay, so that is the goal here, guys. This is what we're going to be working on over the next coming videos. If you have not subscribed, please do so, and I will see you next week. And as I always like to just leave you with something that you can just really resonates with you for this week until I see you again, is the knowing that you were born this way can kind of make you feel, when you find out that, you can feel really at home then. You can feel that, wow, I was actually born this way. Like, this is not something wrong with me. This is not a curse. This is not anything. I just was born with a part of me more developed than somebody else. And because of that, and knowing that, I can embrace it. I can really sit with it and think, everything that went on, now I know why, right? And there's no punishment, there's no judgment, there's no anything. There's just a beautiful peace that comes knowing that you were born this way. And now, as an adult, we're going to learn how to protect you with what you have. I will see you next week, where we continue to build your sensitivity into power. Have a great day.